Hey guys, what up? Total Control 871 just came across the story. As you know, my memory is finite, so I just want to jump right into it, and then we'll talk after.
The good times are roaring as strong as ever. But behind the scenes, in the kitchens and construction sites, where Spanish or Creole is more often spoken than English, the parallel universe of illegal immigration is being rattled with fear. Immigrants tell us that since the presidential election, certain sheriff's deputies appear bent on getting them deported. Local law enforcement is sending confusing messages. And that's because, as we learned, when it comes to immigration enforcement, there's a staggering difference between the policies of the city of Key West and those of Monroe County. These are deliberations this week of the Key West City Commission.
We're not going to inquire as to somebody's immigration status. Same token, we're not going to be asking, let me see your papers.
Everybody gets along. It's always been a live and let live city. They don't bring out paperwork and say, are you an illegal immigrant or anything.
But just outside of city limits, Sheriff Deputy Dave LaRiz has a different approach.
Speak English? No, you speak Spanish? All right. You got ID? Passport? Passport, visa, what?
No.
You're illegal?
Laying on the ground is Marcos Hernandez. He has just been hit by a car while riding his bicycle to work.
Sir, do you want an ambulance, yes or no?
I'm not going to inquire as to somebody's immigration status. And that's perfectly legitimate because this is not our job.
Are you a legal citizen or no? Huh? Huh? Sir, can you get up? You can't get up. Can you stand up?
Hey, he said his foot hurts a lot. He wants let me call the ambulance for him.
I asked him 4 times and he said no.
I just asked him. He says you can understand him. I don't know. They're going to take him. Copy, thank you.
Marcos Hernandez is finally taken to the hospital. Under ICE policy, illegal immigrants are not to be apprehended at hospitals or, for that matter, places of worship, near a school, or while participating in a demonstration. In fact, being the victim or a witness to a crime can even be a direct pass to full citizenship. When Hernandez is released from the hospital on crutches, Deputy LaRiz is waiting for him and insists that they return to the scene of the accident. As LaRiz and Hernandez are waiting, a Florida Highway Patrol officer also arrives on scene, followed by a federal immigration enforcement officer who takes Hernandez into custody. His family tells us he will probably be deported to Honduras.
Gracias, señor. Okay.
According to the police report, the right side of the car hit the rear of the bicycle. Florida law mandates that cars stop for any pedestrian in a marked crosswalk. It also specifies that a bicyclist has all the protections and rights of a pedestrian while in a crosswalk. The driver seems to agree.
I guess I'm supposed to stop at a crosswalk, but
We'll sort it out here in a minute,
Yet Deputy LaRiz would charge Hernandez for obstructing traffic. No citation was issued to the driver of the car.
or God forbid, some undocumented worker is sexually assaulted, they're not going to come forward. If they have the fear that that will end them up being deported or arrested, they're not going to come forward. We cannot be the city that silences a community. These people help us.
Okay, hey guys, yeah, Total Control 871. Real short memory here. There is an NBC Bay Area. This is NBC's, I think it's in the Orlando district. This is a news article that goes along with that YouTube clip. I'm going to link both the YouTube video and this news article along with it. I'm just going to, I don't think I'm going to read the entire thing, but I'll see what I can do here. It's entitled, Cyclist Faces Deportation After a Truck Hit Him in Florida. A cyclist hit by a pickup truck at a crosswalk in Florida and cited for the accident was turned over to immigration officials to face deportation, authorities said Thursday. Marcos Huete, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Huete Hernandez, 31-year-old man from Honduras, darted out, in quotation marks, in front of the truck in Key West and was fined $75 for hindering traffic. According to a Florida Highway Patrol crash report on April 27th, the driver was not fined. We saw most of that in the video. This is the part that has irked my ire. This entire thing has me pissed the fuck off. I'm pissed the fuck off as to how the cyclist was treated. However, I'm also pissed the fuck off as an American citizen myself, American citizen cyclist, who has been egregiously wronged. Let me read. Maybe you'll begin to figure out why I'm so pissed off. Civil rights advocates are condemning the police response because a Monroe County deputy can be heard on body cam asking whether the man is legal before offering him medical assistance as he lay on the sidewalk beside his bicycle. Moments later, a second Spanish-speaking officer calls for an ambulance. In this case, we understand the victim needed to be transported to a hospital, not questioned about his immigration status, said Howard Simon, executive director of the American Civil Liberties Union Florida chapter. Now, while I agree that I did not reach out to the Florida chapter of the ACLU, I did indeed reach out to the New Jersey branch. Where was my help? Where was my help when Officer Ralph Burke was arresting me just for being poor? Where was the outcry for me? The article goes on to say, what they did was inhumane. The way he was lying there and couldn't stand up meant that his health came first. Huete said, Huete being his sister. This is his sister came to the scene, Olga Huete. It's true he is undocumented, but the first thing the officer needed to do was to make sure he wasn't injured, but instead he was fined and sent to the border. Olga Huete also questioned why her brother received the fine when he was riding through a crosswalk without a traffic light or sign. It was it had sign, but it cautioned. I would agree that the cyclists and pedestrians had right of way in that intersection. The driver agreed as well. Miami lawyer Yale Galanter, Galanter, says the officer was within his rights to issue the citation, but pointed out it's very rare that a pedestrian who has been hit by a pickup truck would be the one cited for causing his own injuries. It happened to me in Galloway. Marcos Hernandez works 2 jobs in construction, during the day and is a restaurant dishwasher at night, his sister says. He has 2 daughters in his native Honduras. His sisters have hired an immigration attorney to see if they could halt his deportation. Meanwhile, he is in the Krome, Krome detention center in Miami-Dade. Univision reported that he faces a 2010 deportation order and faces charges for re-entering the U.S. after he was expelled. So, I totally agree. The way the cyclist was treated was inhumane. Like I say, I'm not going to go off into a whole thing. Jump over to search my page for the E-Bum. If you did it for them, you can do it for me. I go on at length about how I feel about immigration there. So I'm not going to get back into that here. I have a lot of problems with how all of this outpouring of resources. The ACLU was right there. And I say in my E-Bum video, the reason why the homeless, American homeless, cyclists, we're not a sexy kind of a topic. You know, we're not Syrian refugees. We're not illegal borders. We're not illegal border hopping aliens. We're not any of these things, okay? And I'm sorry if I don't use a lot of politically correct candy-coated language. I don't. I try to keep everything as factual as I basically can. You are alien to the U.S. You are here illegally. Therefore, you are an illegal alien. It's as simple as that. Hey, I don't even see it as a derogative comment. I want to fucking skip town. I want to go the fuck to Canada, man. I'll be an illegal alien, okay? I'll be a fucking... And I'll own the goddamn title. I don't give a shit. You know, I'll go to fucking Canada and be an illegal alien. But you understand what I'm saying here? That is just so fucking wrong. So much resources. The ACLU raised $25 motherfucking million for the illegal travel ban for all those Muslim countries. That's where their heart was. That's where their sympathies lie. But Americans, we don't rate. We're nothing. We're not as important as foreign people from other countries. My heart goes out to that cyclist. I thought it was fucked up the way he was treated. They didn't even put the man on a goddamn stretcher. His leg is fucking busted. You know, you can't put him on the fucking stretcher. That's just so fucking wrong. You're sitting there and you're making him walk and hobble. And then the cop made it his business, okay? Made it his business to go out of his way, earmark his day, to make sure he was right there at the motherfucking hospital when this guy gets discharged, to hustle him right back to the scene of the crime, and the crime being the way he was treated. Where is the equality for America? America is being gobbled up in a lot of liberal elite, a lot of alt-right. You know, the liberal elite and the alt-right are battling it out, and little people like me are being fucking annihilated. Nobody cares about people like me. Where are my attorneys at? Where is the fleet of attorneys to come to my aid? When Officer Ralph Burke snatched me off the streets. My rights violated. My mind fucked up. Total Control 871.